Chairman, this is PP 2025-28, Walton Estates. Walton Estates is a proposed cluster option 1 subdivision located south of the intersection of Terry Road, which is a county road, and McKelvey Road, which is a state road. The applicant is requesting 22 lots on 68.72 acres for a density of 0.32 units per acre. Access is provided off of Terry Road. Here is the site outlined in red, and here is Terry Road looking north and looking south. Here is the preliminary plan that was included in your packets. The project includes 1 full ingress-egress point, 2 internal roads, 1 cluster mailbox unit with a parking area that includes 4 parking spaces, 20-foot screening buffers around the perimeter of the site, sidewalks per the ordinance, 1 detention pond, 2,343 linear feet of new public roads, and 34.63 acres of open space. Here's the zoning of the site. The subject site is part of the Greenville County Comprehensive Plan where it is designated as rural. Rural place types recommended density of 1 dwelling to every 2 or more acres. Again, Walton Estates proposes 0.32 units per acre. Here is the site and across the street from the site. Regarding SEC comments, all SEC comments were addressed at the resubmittal. Staff recommends approval of the plan with the standard and specific requirements. Mr. Chairman.
Alrighty, thank you, ma'am. Well, we got a few in opposition. As I call your name, please come up. Be aware that you've got a total of 10 minutes for everybody speaking in opposition. You can take all 10 or take parts of the 10. Each side has 10 minutes. Allison Burns. Name and address, please, ma'am.
Allison Gazzoni Burns, 440 Terry Road, Fountain, South Carolina, 29644. Good evening and thank you, Mr. Chairman, Planning Commission members, and county staff for the opportunity to express my strong opposition to this subdivision application. Before I begin, I would like all those in the audience who oppose this subdivision to please stand. Thank you. I'd like to give this committee a historical perspective of the zoning efforts for this area. The proposed subdivision property is located south of Highway 418, is considered rural character per the Greenville County Comp Plan. The people of this community in 2018 spent 2 years working to rezone over 8,000 acres in this area, and the committee agreed to zone or rezone these properties RR1 or RR3 at that time. In those efforts, this property for this proposed subdivision was zoned RR3 in those efforts. With me, I have a handout that I would like to share with the committee. So I've provided the committee and staff a copy of the sections of the LDR and zoning ordinance for reference as I discuss the issues surrounding this subdivision and application as it pertains to the existing regulations. Taking a closer look at the details from the subdivision application, this subdivision is a 22-home cluster development on zoned RR3 land with open space option 1. According to LDR 11.1, which states, quote, "The Planning Commission shall determine if the preliminary plan is consistent with the purpose and intent of the zoning ordinance related to cluster development and open space." In the zoning ordinance under section 7.2 on the back side, open space residential development, this section discusses the open space options for residential developments. Specifically within this section of the ordinance under 7.2.4-5, permitted density, the ordinance states, the overall number of dwellings allowed in the open space development under option 1 may be found in table 7.1. Table 7.1, called minimum lot area permitted densities for single-family residential, maps out the zoning districts, minimum lot size requirements, and open space development options 1 and 2 in units per acre. This property is zoned RR3. Looking specifically at the highlighted section in that table, RR3 within the minimum lot size for conventional development is 1 unit on 3 acres. This subdivision is a cluster or open space development, and so the open space development option 1 and 2 and 7 in table 7.1 is listed as NA for RR3. Per the ordinance, representing not applicable, not available for this zoning classification. As stated before, it is the committee's duty to uphold LDR 11.1 regulations that comply with the zoning ordinance. According to Table 7.1, this cluster subdivision application does not comply with the requirements of the zoned RR3 and is in violation of the zoning ordinance 724-5 for an open space residential development option 1, and therefore this application should be denied. Aside from the subdivision proposal not meeting the zoning ordinance regulations, this council approved the Greenville County Comprehensive Plan. As you are aware, it cannot be used as a regulatory document, but it's intended to be used as a guide for future growth. South of 418 is considered rural, so it should be 1 dwelling per 2 acre. This property is listed as 1 to 1.5 acre lots, 22 homes. Many of the properties on Terry Road are 5 to 10 acres plus, and this does not comply with the proposed growth of this area. Terry Road itself is on a non-marked country road, as you can see in the photos. There's no center or boundary lines. It's not uncommon to see large trucks pulling horse trailers, tractors, dirt bikes, four-wheelers, large farming equipment traversing this road. There are about 35 residents that currently live on Terry Road, including myself. If this 22-home subdivision is approved, it would nearly double the number of homes on this road. It would increase traffic significantly with over 50 plus more cars daily traversing this road. It may not sound like a lot for those that live in city limits, but in the rural setting of our area, this would have great impact on the citizens that exist there today. The last point I'd like to emphasize is the fact that from 2017 to 2023, there were 8 subdivisions approved by the Planning Commission within a 5-mile radius of this very, of this proposed subdivision. These 8 subdivisions make about 1,100 homes from Highway 418 south. There's 6 subdivisions currently under construction. Land is clear cut, utilities are pooled, but there are no homes in these subdivisions. The homes are yet to be built. So one would ask, is there really a housing need in southern Greenville County? To me, it does not appear that there is a housing crisis in our area if these homes from 2017 have yet to be built. Based on the violations of the zoning ordinance 724-5 and 72.6, and to remain compliant with 11.1 of the LDR regulations, along with the other concerns of the community, we ask you to please vote no to this proposed subdivision. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Ms. Burns. Our next speaker is Kimberly Monty. You have 4 minutes.
I'll keep it short. Thank you.
Name and address.
Kimberly Munzie, 340 Terry Road, Fountain Inn, 29644. As Ms. Burns has so eloquently put, this is in violation of ordinance already. It is not in keeping with the rural characteristics of our neighborhood, our road. We have a very narrow, unmarked country road that cannot sustain 50 plus more additional vehicles. It's hardly wide enough for 2 big trucks to pass, much less that many more cars. You have teenagers driving. It's just a recipe for disaster. So we do ask that you vote no.
Thank you, ma'am. Linda Fitchen.
Hi, thank you for letting us speak. My name is Linda Fitchen, and I had
Address, please.
I'm sorry, I'm sorry, it's 108 Terry Road
Thank you.
in Fountain Inn. I had a whole list here to say, but Allison pretty much covered everything that we, desired here. That this land is, many people went together to this, come to this planning committee to get it rezoned as a rural area. And that was RR3, which means a minimum of 3 acres per home. And this subdivision plan is totally, it's not in regulation with what we have for our rural lifestyles and residents. However, it seems that the ongoing workarounds such as open spaces is being considered and granting to appease the minority. The results are distracting from the quality of the area and diminishes good relationships between the county officials and the people they serve. As she said, Terry Road is a very narrow, winding road, and there's many farm equipments, tractors, side-by-sides, four-wheelers, and our children and grandchildren ride their bikes and walk on this road. And as Allison said, if these homes were to be built, there would be at least 44 to 50 more cars traversing this property. So I ask you to please vote no on this subdivision. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Oh, goodness. Gino, I'm not gonna try.
Cane cleaning.
Connolly,
Cane cleaning.
name and address, please, sir. 2 minutes.
Name's Gino Cane Cleaning. I live on 417 Terry Road, Fountain. Just make it quick. My fellow residents over here pretty much tack on everything that the concern is. Our family's owned the property since 2008, and as you're seeing residentials pop up just fairly throughout 418 and even the surrounding areas. I mean, you'll notice that even with construction popping up, it'll be a disruption to the farmers, people that are doing stuff around there, doing their livelihood. It'll also disrupt traffic. Like they said, it'll also prevent kids from being able to enjoy the land and the roads and just the access to open access that they have. So that's really all I have to say. Just really support our community, support our Terry Road, and support my fellow residents. So, thank you.
Thank you. We got some minutes. Paul Valentine? Minute 20.
Paul Valentine at 124 Hillside Church Road. This property backs up to my property. And I'm not gonna repeat everything was said, but I'll highlight a few things I think they're important for you guys to consider. Certainly understand that Greenville County is growing, there's a lot of population growth here, but I think a couple of the important points that were pointed out, a lot of subdivisions already in the area where the homes have not yet been built. I think it would be great, I think it would be wise for the council to consider that as you think about new subdivisions you approve. Plus, Greenville County, there are horse boarding facilities down here, there are agricultural facilities down here. Much of that is not gonna be conducive to more of these things coming in. It's forcing a neighborhood into an area that does not need it at the present moment, and the people that live there, it would disrupt their lives completely. I think that there's a need for this type of rural area close to Greenville. If we keep doing this kind of thing, we're not gonna have it. And it's important that we have at least a little bit around Greenville within reason to Greenville. So just consider what was already said. I think the first speaker did a great job of outlining the concerns from the regulatory issues or whatever, but those are just my personal concerns. Thank you.
Can you give up 10 seconds? That's everybody in opposition that we have time for. In favor of the engineer Waverly Wilkes, or did you want this other person to go first?
Who's the second?
Oh, heck. Lonnie Neves?
He's more than welcome to go first. I'll happily go second.
You come on first.
You sure? Okay.
You come first.
She's a lot better looking than